everybody, this is my 31-week update. I'm sorry that my 30-week update was a week late and that my 31-week is a couple of days late. It's been a very interesting week to say the least. If you watched my 30-week update, then I included in one of my symptoms in there that I was having lower back pain and period cramps. I obviously didn't think much of it. I was chipper and happy and everything was fine. I had filmed that on that Friday, so it was exactly 30 weeks. And then Saturday I was going to upload it, but I wasn't feeling too good, and I really don't remember what I was doing. Sunday I really wasn't feeling good. The period cramps started to become very uncomfortable and I mean, they just were more intense than they had been. And then that night, Sunday night, they had started to become increasingly uncomfortable constantly. And then every now and then they would become more intense and it would really hurt my lower back, and it was just starting to be kind of weird. Not what I was used to, not what I was expecting, didn't really know what to think of it. So that night, I had called the on-call doctor from my doctor's office and spoke to her, and she suggested that I come into the labor and delivery unit at my hospital. Because I wasn't keeled over in pain or anything like that, I didn't think it was important. I don't know. I highly don't recommend doing that. Looking back now, I should have just gone then, because then you don't have to worry. You know, don't worry about getting there or not, or money or whatever. I should have just done it then, but I didn't go that night. Monday, they were even worse. It's like a constant period cramp, and then it would be more intense moments, and it would go back to the normal cramp, and then more intense moments, and it was happening quite frequently. And I wasn't timing them or anything like that, but it was not like 1 an hour or anything like that. It was not normal. It didn't feel normal. And I have had Braxton Hicks before, and everything tightens, and they don't hurt. So it wasn't what I had ever felt before. So I decided to call my doctor, and I am very disappointed in my doctor's office. I would not go there a second time after this pregnancy. If it was earlier in my pregnancy, I wouldn't even continue going there, but it's not a little late to switch, but it's just easier to stay with them right now. But they took forever to call me back. I called, talked to a receptionist, and she took a message. I waited a couple hours, still hadn't received a call back, so then I called again, and I left a voicemail for the doctor. Then a couple hours later, a nurse called me back and said what was the problem, and so I explained it to her, and she said that she'd have the doctor call me back. And I was like, okay. And then a couple hours later, the doctor finally called me back. So I think it was about 1 o'clock when I finally talked to the doctor, and I had been trying to get to them since the early morning, and they opened at 8. So it took a very long time, which I think is extremely unprofessional and not very thorough. And as soon as I talked to the doctor, she said, you really need to go into labor and delivery to at least get checked out to see if anything's changing or what's going on. So I got ready and I drove myself because they weren't excruciating keeled over pain, and I didn't have anyone else to take me at the time. So I went by myself and went to the labor and delivery, checked myself in, everything like that, and was hooked up to all the monitors. And they displayed Ellie's heart rate is extremely well and strong. She's not fazed by anything that was going on. She's completely chill, moving around, doing her own thing. So she is strong and healthy, and the little graphs, not good with the technical talk, definitely show contractions. The nurse came in and said, yes, you are having contractions. We really need to try to rule out what's causing these and get them to stop. Long story short, my mom came. I had an ultrasound done, I had a couple tests done, and the resulting thing was that it was not dehydration. They tried giving me IV fluids, and the contractions continued to increase. And lost my train of thought. And I got 2 shots of some kind of medicine. I don't know the name of it, to help stop contractions that makes you really shaky and unsettled. And then we went home. By the time we got home, I was having the cramps again, and then by the next morning, we got home about 10 or 11 that night, and by the next morning I was having the exact same cramps and slightly worse. So Monday was not a complete waste, but Tuesday I went ahead and called the doctor again and went through the same exact issue with trying to get in contact with the doctor. Absolutely ridiculous. You really need to make sure that your doctor will be able to get back to you. And it's not even my doctor. I did not see my doctor at all. I have not talked to her through my whole pregnancy. She's supposed to start visits at 36 weeks. Even at the hospital, did not see her. She wasn't in town or wasn't able to come in. And then Tuesday, I still never talked to her. I was always talking to a physician's assistant or a nurse or the receptionist or an answering machine. And it took until, I think I went in at 4 p.m. on Tuesday. I honestly, I can't remember. Something like that. Yeah, we weren't there as long. So I think 4 p.m. I actually got into the hospital again, and they did the whole thing again, and I was having the same issue again. So they tried the shot again, and that helped with them. And then they sent me home with a pill to take to help stop contractions, and we were kind of off on our own again. So then the next day I went to the doctor's office and I got my cervix checked, and my cervix is long and closed, so no issues there, and that's good. And the contractions are not super painful or anything like that. They're not what I expect actual labor to be. They just say that they are early labor contractions, which is why I was still able to function. Like, they weren't the intense part, but I still should not be having those. So the doctor checked the cervix, everything like that, and everything came back normal, and she just said to just keep up with the medication. The cramping still continued while I was on the medication, and after the first day of taking it, the second day around, it was back to how it was. And so I called my doctor and said that, and she just said that it wasn't, we'll just schedule another appointment. So then on Friday I went in again, checked my cervix, it was closed, everything's good. And she just said that we won't do that medication because it's not working for me. And I've been on bed rest since the second visit to the hospital. So she just said to continue being on bed rest, and that we'll see if, that helps it. But I still have the cramps. I still have the cramp. I call them cramps. I feel weird calling them contractions, but I guess that's what they are apparently. But because there's no dilation, she just said it might just be how my pregnancy is. If anything gets any more intense, or if there's any other signs that, my water's breaking, or if there's bleeding, or all those yada yada kind of stuff, then obviously to call her or to go back into the hospital. So it's been a very eventful week. Really, really stressful and suckish because this is not anything that I expected, didn't know really what to do with it. I've learned so much about my doctor's office that I really, really dislike. They never, I think once you hit the 3rd trimester, they should tell you that these are signs of early labor. Let us call us if this happens, because I was experiencing something, and I even mentioned it in my 30-week video. I've had cramping previous to my 30 week, but it was starting to increase in my 30-week video. And I didn't even know that that was a sign of early labor. My doctor's office, I think, I feel like they should communicate more about what to expect. And also, they suck at getting back to me, which could be a huge issue. I have yet to see my doctor. I don't know. It's not very how you would want this kind of situation to go, especially for a first child. And I'm very new to all of this, so not a happy camper, but just gonna stick with it because I'm almost done anyways, and it doesn't seem like my doctor's really involved. So it's ridiculous. But I do like the physician's assistant. She's very nice and she's very informative. It's just, it's really hard to get back around to receive information, just how the office is set up. So that's pretty much what's happened this past week. That's why my videos are all messed up, really jumbled, and I don't know. And I'm just kind of, I'm groggy. I feel nauseous. I feel kind of like dizzy, lightheaded after I film this. I cannot wait to lay down. And I'm hot. I have like hot and cold kind of feelings. I still have the cramping, but I really want to get these videos up somewhat in a timely manner so Gavin can kind of see all of this and that it's all up. I don't want to push this to the side or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and, ignoring all the hospital stuff, I'll just start with symptoms. I have bad acid reflux, the dizziness and nausea, lower back pain, the cramping. I'm still going to the bathroom a lot more frequently. I can't sleep at night. It's ridiculous. It's the most, bed rest is already kind of mind-boggling enough. You feel like you're kind of going nuts. Especially in my house. It's just my mom and I. Like right now I'm home by myself again. Like it's just, I mean, she has to work. We don't have a lot of commotion, so I go kind of crazy. Netflix is the bomb though. I am so grateful for Netflix. Grey's Anatomy is currently what I'm watching, but I'm like one season away from finishing it, so I'll have to find something else. I also am not going to be able to go to Gavin's graduation anymore, obviously. I cannot fly and I cannot stay in a car ride that long, so not going to that, which it's upsetting, but honestly I just am really bummed that I can't see him and that I can't, you know, be proud of him and be a part of that, but it's okay, I guess, because, you know, after he graduates from basic, he'll have his phone and he'll be able to come here for Ellie's birth, so I'll see him in a month, and I just really need to focus on keeping her in here and safe and sound. So it's frustrating, but I'm okay with not going because she needs the safety of me staying put so that nothing goes wrong, and that would be really, really, really bad, especially if it went wrong either in the air on a plane or in Texas when I have nothing and I've never been anywhere. I've never been off the East Coast, so I am a huge homebody, and it's just scary. It's overwhelmingly scary. Okay, I haven't gained any weight. I've been to the doctor quite a few times this week, so for 31 weeks, I'm still 137 pounds. So I guess that's good. They didn't say anything bad about it. My blood pressure's good. Everything like that is normal. The only thing that seems to be an issue is that my body is deciding to have contractions. But they haven't increased. I don't have any leaking or anything like that, so we're just kind of chilling with the whole bed rest thing, but it's not fun at all. That's the best update I can give you guys, and I really apologize for this being kind of pushed back, but it's been a busy week. So I'll go ahead and show my belly shot, and I even put on something semi-cute for the video. So this is front view with the shirt and side view. So I think she's pretty low in my opinion. In the ultrasound picture and everything like that, her head was covering my cervix. I couldn't see it very well. So her head is definitely down, and I feel lots of, not pressure, but I can feel like when she pushes into it, or I think her hands are like here, sometimes up at her face, because they can push out like this. I don't know. I'm very in tune. I'm pretty confident with her position, but she's head down and there is some pushing there, but it's not the pressure that everyone says that you're like, oh, I feel pressure, and then you go into labor. Not that. It's not that. I hope not, at least. But so she is, in my opinion, low, but I don't know. Obviously, I have no idea. Okay, I guess that's it. I'm sorry once again that I'm all over the place, but I'm very, like, just isolated and jumbled and stressed and worried, and it's just a very stressful time right now. But that's the point of these videos, so I can capture the true emotion of each week. So when Gavin comes back, or if we want to watch these videos, we can see it. And if anyone else is in a similar situation, which according to Google, when I Google all this, a lot of people have this issue around 30 weeks. So if anyone else is in the same boat, maybe my story can help them have some reassurance or comparison or something. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and everyone who has subscribed. It's really awesome to see, you know, people commenting and liking my videos, because it kind of shows that I'm not just talking to a camera and feeling stupid and all that. It's really nice to have feedback, and especially now that this is getting a little bit more interesting, it'll be nice to have some support on here, and it's a cool and neat experience. I'm liking it so far, so I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you all in my next update video. Or if something else happens, or if I'm extremely bored and I decide to film something else, then I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching.